Good morning, everybody. It's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor. I'm not taking up the full screen like I normally do because I've got some pictures to show you guys. We're getting ready to do a recap of everything you missed last weekend in the Destin, Florida Southern Adornments live event. I'm back home and still sort of unpacking from the event. My suitcase is unpacked, but the pallets with all the stuff that we brought home still need to be sorted and organized. But, that'll wait for another day because right now I've got pictures to show you and I want to explain to you where we're going to be next year. So we're going to start off with a recap of what you missed from last year's event. And if at any point during this live, you can go ahead and buy your ticket right now. I did put it in the video description and I'm going to also drop it in the comments because next year we are going to be in Sevierville, Tennessee, which is the Great Smoky Mountains. Home of Dolly Parton herself. And we're going to be staying at the Wilderness at the Smokies Hotel. And we're going to be hanging out at the Sevierville Convention Center. So let me pin that link because everybody always has a hard time finding it. So I'm going to pin it real quick to the top of the comments. Good morning, Tamara. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Ashton. I hope you guys had an awesome week. And it's so good to see you all again. Hello, Lauren. I'm so excited because, guys, we have already sold more than half of our tickets to next year's event. So spots are limited. If you're watching this and it's already been a couple of days old, we may already be sold out. I don't know. I have no idea how quickly these last tickets are going to go. However, right now, until Sunday, October 15th at midnight, we have an early bird special for you. You can save up to $150 off your full price ticket or $75 off the payment plan ticket. So don't wait past October 15th or this deal will expire. Or we may be sold out by then. I really don't know. Hey, Becca. Hi, Brenda. I know Becca's got her ticket. Who else has their ticket? Raise your hand in the comments if you've got your ticket and you're like, I will be there. I will see you in the Smoky Mountains. I don't know if it's because our ladies, I think it's a combo. I think some of our ladies enjoyed this event so much that they couldn't wait to do it again next year. So they hurried up and bought their ticket. But I also think part of it's because we're going to be in the Smoky Mountains. And that's one of my favorite places on the entire, I don't know if I can say on the entire planet because I haven't seen the entire planet, but it is one of my favorite places to go with my family. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. So I think it was kind of a double whammy of they really enjoyed this last event and they want to go to the Smoky Mountains with me. And so a lot of you guys have already put your money down and gotten your spot. I see somebody else says, I will be there. Awesome. Hey, Tamara. Hello, Lauren. She's going to be there. Becca says, yep. Who else? Who else has got their ticket? Okay, while y'all are commenting, let's go through some pictures because I can't wait to show you guys what we did in Destin. Lori said Destin was awesome. I agree. So first off, here's a picture of the entire room from the stage. I took a picture of the left side and the right side because it's so hard to capture all of y'all at once. At this event, we had, I think it was right around 130 women. We sold more tickets than that, but due to COVID and other circumstances, there were several people who weren't able to come. And if that happens to you, if you buy a ticket to 2024's event, we don't do refunds. However, we will mail you a virtual kit and you will be able to participate virtually from home, even if you can't be there in person. So you're not going to miss out on the amazing crafts, but you will. I would hate it if you're not able to be in the room with us because there is something special about there being there with us. Hey, Miss Joanne, I've got a picture of you coming up soon. Stay tuned. And then here's a picture from the back of the room. So this was the front of the room from the stage looking out. And here's from the back of the room looking forward. So we have two large screens at the front. So everybody, no matter whether you're sitting in the back row or the front row, can see exactly what's going on as we're teaching on the desk up front. I will say the color on the screens this year was not ideal. It was a little bit oversaturated and we had to turn down the lights just a little bit to be able to see them. So I'm hoping that's going to be, actually, I'm not hoping it's going to be better next year. I know it's going to be better next year because you know why? I've been to a convention before at this convention center and the screens were awesome. So I don't think it's going to be an issue next year at all. But it was just a tiny hiccup this year. Lauren said the room is such a special environment. I agree. It's like when you get all of these ladies together, they're so warm and inviting and generous and kind. And there's just a feeling of like excitement and encouragement in the room that can't be duplicated. It's amazing. And okay, let me first off, if you've never been to one of our events before, the last 2 years we have had the most amazing MC. Her name is Coach Kaya. She is a friend of mine that I met through a childhood friend. She actually married one of my childhood friends. He and I went to church together since we were babies, and his parents are actually my neighbors. And so Kaya and I met through them. But she has become a speaker of sorts. She travels around the United States and speaks on stages. And guys, she is so outgoing, energetic, magnetic. I don't know all the good words to say about her, but she will inspire you to change your life. Like, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. She is so full of energy. She'll walk up to you, put the microphone in your face and be like, "Where are you from? Who are you?" You know, she's not afraid to like be her full authentic self. As you'll see later on, she actually did karaoke at our local hotel Pool Cabana had a karaoke night and it was amazing. She sang like 3 or 4 different songs and rocked the socks off. You would think she would did karaoke professionally or something. Katie said, "Can you explain the payment plan process?" We are going to get to that in just a few moments, Katie, but I want to finish recapping Destin 2023 first. Lauren says magnetic. That's a great word. You're drawn to her and she can make anyone feel good about themselves. I agree. Kaya is amazing. So if you're not following Coach Kaya on Facebook, Instagram, all the places, go follow her right now. Because if you need a little pick me up every day, she's your girl. So she brought a certain kind of energy to Southern Adornments Live, and she's coming back next year. And y'all, she brings out the fun in me. She encourages me to like get outside my comfort zone. And it's funny because on the first day of these events, I'm always just a little bit shy. Like, I consider myself an extrovert, but for some reason, when I'm suddenly like put in front of 150 people and I've handed the microphone, I'm like, "Hi, what do I say?" I don't know. But she's very good at like loosening me up. And usually by lunchtime on the first day, I'm comfortable and it's fine. But she got me out of my comfort zone and we had a great time. So here are some pictures of projects that I taught. First off, the very first morning I taught this project. It was a door hanger because of course we have to paint at least one door hanger at every event. And we painted this door hanger. It had 3D attachments. So the top part, that banner was 3D. So we painted it and then glued it on. The word home there is 3D also. So we painted it and glued it on. And then the pumpkin at the bottom is a removable piece. So we didn't glue it on, we Velcroed it on. And we actually sold several different attachment pieces in our vendor booth that the ladies could paint and change out for all the seasons. So I showed these photos because I wanted you guys to see like the different ways people painted them. The one on the far right there with the turquoise banner, that's the way I taught it. But some of the other ladies went through and did rainbow banners. They did neutral banners, depending on their personal style and flavor. A lot of these ladies were able to customize it. Hey, Tiffany, you didn't miss much. We're just showing some pictures and things, and I'm only at like the first 10% of this. So we've got more to go. So we're going to show a recap of what we did in Destin, and then toward the end, we're going to talk more about the 2024 event. But if you know for sure you want to go ahead and join us in 2024, I have put the link in the comments for you guys. So you can click and buy your ticket right now. Laura, the size attachment was 6 inches. So if you want to change out the attachment on these, because I know you painted one of these from home virtually, any 6-inch piece should fit in that area. The second day, I taught a sled. And so this is not necessarily a door hanger, but you could like prop this against your mantle or your Christmas tree or leave it sitting out on a table, something like that. And so we painted it flat, and then the pieces assembled made a 3-dimensional sled. So what you can't really see very well, you might be able to see it in Charlie's picture there, is that it does have little rails that it can set up on. So it looks like a 3-dimensional sled. And this design is one of Heidi Easley's designs from Texas Art and Soul. She gave us permission to use it for the event. I was really planning on Heidi coming and painting this, but she had another engagement she had to go to, and so she wasn't able to be there. And so she gave me permission to teach it on her behalf. And we had so much fun. Even Charlie got to paint one. And there's Laura. She painted hers from home virtually, which was so fun. It was so neat to see the virtual participants getting in on it as well. Joanne says, "I have it on my door already." The sled one or the or the welcome banner? If you've got the sled up, I'm impressed. I bet you meant the welcome banner though. Okay, and if you don't know, we set up a vendor booth at every one of our events, and this year's was the biggest and best that it has ever been. So I wanted to show you guys a few pictures. There's some photos of, I even had some red aspen nails. I had some stencils. We had aprons. We had wood blanks of all shapes and sizes. We had lots of 3D pieces, lots of attachment pieces, and we had even more underneath the tables. So every time something would sell out, we would put something else out. At the top right there, you can't even see the vendor booth for all the ladies shopping. We had some kits, had a couple of big box of blanks that were left over that we were selling, some brushes, some tumblers, all kinds of things. Cassie says, I got my ticket. I'm finally coming to a live event. Yes, Cassie, I'm so excited for you. It's going to be so much fun. Next year, everybody said that this year was the best one yet, but I'm going to raise the bar next year. I'm calling it now. Next year is going to be the best one yet. It'll be my 5th one. And y'all, I feel like I'm getting better at them. Every year I'm getting a little better. I'm planning them out just a little bit better. I'm learning what the pace of the event should be. Like in Dallas last year, we did 12 crafts. That was way too many. There was not enough time to finish anything. And this year we cut it back. We only did 6 crafts, but we gave you guys more time to complete them. And so for the people who painted quickly and got done in plenty of time, they were sitting there painting stuff they bought at the vendor booth. I mean, they were painting more than just what we painted at the event. But for the ones that paint a little slower, they loved the casual, relaxed pace of this event. I think it really helped everybody like relax and enjoy the process. And so we're definitely going to keep that in mind for next year, but we're also going to sprinkle in some fun things next year that maybe we didn't get to do this year. Okay, so first up, let's introduce our talented presenters that came and taught at Southern Adornments Live 2023. Now, we don't have our presenters lined up yet for 2024. We'll be announcing those at a later date. But Cindy Manley from Art Shattered came and she taught how to do a poinsettia with resin. If you've never used resin on a project before, this is the perfect opportunity doing it live with Cindy. She can help you troubleshoot anything you're going through. If you follow her step by step, your project's going to turn out beautifully. Look at all those beautiful poinsettias. So this was an 1.5 hour long class. The first half, she taught how to do the shading on the flowers and all of that. And then the second half of the class, they added these beautiful gold beads and then they poured the resin over them and they were stunning. So we did this at the end of the day and everybody left their project setting on their table. And the next morning when they came in, it was dry and they were able to pick it up and touch it and everything. And it was so, so beautiful. We even had some ladies do these in pink and blue instead of red. And so they were really, really pretty too. And I can confirm that Miss Cindy Manley will be back for 2024. She is the only guest presenter that I have for sure locked down for 2024 again, because everybody without a doubt told me this was their #1 favorite project. And they wanted to do another resin project with Cindy next year. So I don't know what we're going to do next year, but I promise you it will be fantastic. Lauren said, I love the pace. It gave time to work out on new skills, the background on the sled, the shading on the poinsettia. Right. So we do try to incorporate skill teaching into these projects, like the shading on this poinsettia, the background on the sled, that sky background. Let's go back a couple pictures. The sky background on this sled, you see how it kind of goes from one color to another. I taught this and then I walked around the room and troubleshooted with everybody. So I didn't stay on stage the whole time. I would walk around. And if somebody was like, I'm struggling, this just doesn't look right, I would actually take their paintbrush and demonstrate and then give it back to them, watch them do it, and then correct them and so on. And so it really helped people develop techniques while they were there. Yeah, y'all are excited Cindy's coming back. Me too. It's going to be awesome. Hammer says the sky was the coolest technique. Sandy said she loved Cindy's resin. Lauren said it's a mix between mosaic and ombre. I think so too. It depends on the type of paintbrush stroke you do. And if you don't like that mosaic look, you can smudge the colors a little more and make it more ombre. But it keeps us from having like a boring, flat, one color sky in the background. And that's what I was going for, was more of an artistic sort of look. Laura loves Cindy's project too. Okay, next up, we've got Casey Hope from Pizzazz Art Studio. Casey and Erica, who I'm going to show you in a moment, sort of tag teamed on this project. So the first half of the class was taught in one room and the other half of the class was taught in another room. And in hindsight, I probably should not have done a project this involved at a Southern Adornments Live. So see, I'm learning every year. So let me explain how it worked. Casey taught how to do the lettering on the project. That one in the middle there that says "But God" is Casey's. That's her example. The other two were ones that participants did. And so Casey taught the lettering portion of it. She taught you how to do the brush strokes or the paint pen marker strokes for the lettering. And then you would take your journal to Erica's class, and she taught you how to do florals around it. So we're going to get to that in a moment. But I want to tell you what these books are. These books are mixed media pads, meaning they have watercolor paper inside of them. So it's kind of like an art journal. And so my idea was we're going to paint the covers of these art journals, and they can practice their art on the inside of the journal, like practice different lettering or different brush strokes and things like that. And so you can kind of like keep it as a keepsake, but it's also a tool. And so you can look back. I have one here that I look back at often to kind of see like things that I've learned and progress that I've made in my painting journey. And so it's kind of cool to be able to practice techniques on something like this. And so in hindsight, painting the cover probably wasn't ideal. I probably should have just stuck to them teaching something on the pages inside the book, and then they could paint the cover however they like when they got home, or they could Mod Podge the cover or something like that. So if you painted one of these at Southern Adornments Live and you're not happy with your cover, I'm going to advise you right now to just paint over it. Like paint over it white and start again. And you could Mod Podge it. You could use a door hanger template on it, whatever you want to do. Feel like you can make it your own. Because there were some ladies who didn't get theirs completed. There were some ladies who didn't even start. They just practiced on the inside. So this is yours to keep, yours to use as your personal journal. And so I do have some of these journals left. We will be selling these in the future. We just haven't unpacked yet. So once we unpack, I'm going to be listing these in the shop if anybody wants to buy their own art journal. Because if you've ever noticed, these sketch pads, mixed media pads, things like that you buy in stores have those flimsy like paper covers. They don't have nice hardback covers that you can paint. And so I'm excited to be able to put those in my shop for you guys. Somebody said, I was a first timer. I loved the event. Thank you for that. Tamara says it was such a great surprise tool for us to get and be able to continue to use in the future. I cannot wait, Tamara, to see how you guys use these in the future. And we are planning on using these in the Painters Clubhouse to teach certain techniques in the future. We've got a couple of things lined up for that. Also, there was something I was going to say about this. What was it? Oh, we used one of them and we passed it around the room, and everybody signed and autographed it and wrote like a special note to me in it. And that's going to become our Southern Adornments Live yearbook. So there, you guys who signed it left little pockets of space for photos. And so I'm going to put photos in it so that year after year, we can look back at it and see, I can look back at it. It'll be like a keepsake for me too. So I'm going to use mine kind of as a yearbook photo album, and I'm going to cover the front cover in it of it somehow with the Southern Adornments Live logo. Lisa got her ticket. Woo woo. Did you just purchase it just now? If you haven't gotten your ticket, I did put the link in the comments for you guys, and I pinned it to the top. Okay, so here's Erica's half of the project. She taught us how to do hydrangea petals using a one-stroke brush method. And so it was super technical, but so useful. And it just takes a lot of practice. And once you do this repetitively, you will get better and better at it. And so Erica showed how to put those little brush strokes together to kind of create this beautiful little circle around the lettering that Casey was doing on the cover. Oh, Brenda says it didn't make it to our side of the room. Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda. It was kind of a last minute idea that we came up with, the signing of the yearbook thing. We came up with it like Friday night in the hot tub. And so Saturday, when we finally thought about passing it around, it was already late in the day. And I was like, oh man. So I don't have a ton of signatures. I've only got like 3 pages worth for the first one, but we'll fill it up next year. Don't you worry. Lauren said, when you have that book handy, you need to put the date on the pages that they wrote on. Yes, I think so too. I'll do that. Okay. Lauren Martin, who's in the comments, also taught a project. She did a picture frame with an attachment. So it had this really cute little 6-inch witch hat attachment at the top. And then it had a little clip for you to clip in a 4x6 photo. And so she has 3 examples there of different ways that you could paint the background to keep it simple. And you could change it up your colors to kind of match your colors in your home. And then we had different words you could put at the bottom, like family or memories or whatever. And then that little attachment is attached with Velcro. So you can kind of swap it out for the different seasons, kind of have like, it's almost like a happy everything picture frame. You can change it out for all the seasons. So if you want to buy additional attachments for your picture frame, 6-inch is the size you need to get. That is so sweet. Tamara says Lauren did an amazing job, and her husband and Michael were an absolute hoot. I've got a picture of them that I'm going to show y'all in a moment. Michael and JD go way back. They met back in 2010, and they were both going through the Kentucky State Police Academy together. So they're like brothers, and all they do is cut up with one another the entire time. It was such a pleasure to have JD there this year. He's never been before, and my husband didn't even know he was coming. So he was so psyched to know his best friend was coming, and they had so much fun together. It was so good for both of them. Sandy said, adding our group picture from this year's live to my photo stand. I like that idea. Good idea. Let's see. Pam Savage taught how to do a 3-layered snowman ornament. So this was 3 different pieces that we painted and then glued together. And then it came with these little beads that when you stack them, make the shape of a snowman. And so it was super cute. And it was a lot of tiny little details, but Miss Pam is so good at teaching technical stuff like that. And she did such a good job. So here were some examples of ones that were painted. And if you notice in the photo of Miss Pam, she's holding some painted hats. She even had a vendor booth set up at the event selling hats. And I think she had, I don't know, Lauren, do you remember how many hats she had at her booth? I know she was sold out by lunchtime on the second day. I think that was when she was sold out, or maybe she was sold out by the end of the first day. It was so crazy fast that I know she's going to be painting double the amount of hats if she comes next year. Ann says, loved Michael and JD. They were awesome, helpful, and friendly. Yes, we had them running circles around that room, passing out paint water and paints. Oh, yeah, I think it was about 100, but I couldn't remember if she had pre-sold some of them before she came. That's right. Day 2, she didn't even use her table because she had sold out on day 1. Yes, that's what it was. I knew it was something like that. She did awesome. And then in the after hours on, was it Saturday night when it was all said and done, we went over to the hotel. It was like a resort on the beach. And they had an island cabana between 2 pool areas. So there were 2 big pool areas, and there was this cabana in the middle, and it was open on both sides. So you could see in from both sides. And we had karaoke. We did not plan this. The hotel already had this planned, but you know what? All of a sudden, it became the Southern Adornments Live karaoke sessions because we were all wearing those turquoise shirts and we were surrounding that cabana. And every few minutes, another one of us would get up and sing. On the left there is Kaya. In the middle is me. This was my very first time ever doing karaoke. I sang Reba, of course, because I love Reba. And I sang Why Haven't I Heard From You? And so that was at the very end of the song. Kaya was filming me. And then on the right there is Joanne. She got up and did it a couple of times. But there were several ladies. I just didn't have pictures of all of them. I wish I had. But I was so impressed at how outgoing everybody was. And the atmosphere was so awesome because every time one of our ladies, I mean, there were some other kids and people that got up and did it. But every time it was one of our people, we were like, woo, way to go. You know, we were hyping each other up. It was a lot of fun. And some of us were hanging out in the pool. Some of us were sitting on the side and just relaxing and just watching. But it was a great atmosphere and a perfect way to end the event, if you ask me. Sandy said, I loved the karaoke. You and Kaya were amazing. I don't know that I would ever do karaoke again outside of a Southern Adornments Live event. You guys make me feel so comfortable and so confident because I know you guys love me no matter what. I could get up there and completely flop and you guys would still be like, you were awesome. And so that gave me the confidence to get up there and do it. But I don't know that I would ever choose to do it if you guys weren't all there. And so it was awesome. Oh, Reba was your favorite. Thank you. Lauren said karaoke needs to be shortened songs. I agree. It needs to be like a 1.5-minute clip of a song. Because Reba's song, I don't know how long it is, but it was probably 3.5, 4 minutes long. And by the end of it, my breath was almost gone. I'm like, how does Reba get up and do this for 2 hours on stage? I don't even know. I don't know how artists do full concerts either. It requires so much energy to be able to just sing and sing with gusto in front of people. So it was fun. We had a great time. There were some other shenanigans that ensued during our event. These ladies came and they call themselves the Flamingals. They brought fancy hats. They wore Hawaiian shirts and leis, and they all sat together. And at the end of their table was a flamingo on a stand. If you see that right there in the middle. And the flamingo even had her own hat. Her name was, what was her name? Fanny, something like that. Yes, they were a hoot. And so it was so fun to have like a group of girls who all had their own theme. It definitely makes you show up and nobody's going to forget who you were. They even got Michael and JD on the right there to put on the hats and pose for a picture. And I love this picture. I need to like put it up somewhere in our house. Another couple of groups of ladies here that showed up in style. There's Miss Joanne and Brenda and some other ladies all posing on the left, and Colleen. I'm trying to recognize faces. It's hard to see because it's so small. But they all showed up together and sat together. And then on the right, I don't know that these ladies have a name for themselves, but they are definitely unforgettable. This photo of all of them was backstage. My husband took it. So what I didn't know, me and Kaya were outside in the main room, and I had the microphone and we were talking. And all of a sudden the music started playing, and this group came out with these suits on, parading down the aisle, like dancing, and it was like a dance party all of a sudden. And I was like, who are these people? Did Kaya hire a troupe of people to be dressed up in costumes? I didn't know what was going on. They surprised me. Kaya knew it was happening. I did not. My husband did not know it was happening. And so as he was going backstage to fill up some water pitchers, he found them in the hallway and he's like, are they here for the tattoo convention? Like, what is this about? He didn't recognize them. And then when he realized, oh, these are our ladies, he's like, I've got to take a picture of this. This is hilarious. All of you guys in the backstage area. And so he snapped this photo, and it is so special. I love these ladies so much. These ladies have been coming to my events since we were doing them in Nashville like 4 and 5 years ago. And so I'm so happy to know that they're coming back again for 2024. And it will never be a dull moment when these ladies are in the room. Somebody said, will we be able to purchase the ornament and snowman that we did? We are going to be putting stuff like that on the site. We just haven't had a chance to. So yes. Tamara said we learned that Tamara will dance with anyone. Yes, I will. After they paraded down the aisle, I jumped in the back like I was part of the crew, even though I didn't have a costume on, and made a conga line. Heather said, I've been 2 years and I don't even paint door hangers, but the atmosphere and friendships you make and all the fun, you definitely don't want to miss the opportunity. Thank you for that, Heather. Marie says the inflatable peeps are my crew. So glad so sad I missed it. Marie, I saw your comment that you made earlier. You said, I told myself I wasn't going to get bummed that I missed out on this year's event until I saw this photo. And you definitely were there in spirit, even though you weren't there in person. These ladies, they're a special group, very special to me. Something else fun that we did at this year's event, which we'd never done before, was a banner painting. And so Lauren and I, back in July, got together and made this 12-foot long banner that was like a coloring book page. And throughout the event, different people would come up and add a little bit of color to it. Even Charlie got involved. She loved this. She loved being a part of all this. We even had some leopard print going on. We had some beautiful shading by Miss Erica. And by the end of the event, this banner was full of color, and it was so cool to see it all come together. And it made a beautiful photo backdrop. And luckily, we didn't get a lick of paint on the wall. So we'll probably incorporate something like this again next year. I'm just not sure. Maybe we should change up the theme. This one had beach items on it. So maybe next year should have mountains or bluegrass music type things. A little bit of maybe it should have a Dolly Parton on it. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be amazing. So if you want to guarantee your spot for next year's event, I have dropped the link in the comments. It's pinned there. It's also in the video description. We are going to be in the Great Smoky Mountains. We're going to be staying at the Wilderness at the Smokies. If you've never heard of that location, I'm going to show you some pictures and talk about it here in a moment. But it's in Sevierville, Tennessee. So if you've ever been to the Smokies, there's Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. It's like 3 towns back to back to back. You can drive through all 3 of them. Sevierville's at the front end. It's closest to the interstate. And so if you have to fly in, you're going to fly into Knoxville, Tennessee, and it's about a 30 or 40-minute drive from Knoxville. And so you can probably catch an Uber, you can rent a car, or you can plan to meet up with a couple ladies at the airport and commute over from there and share the cost. Michelle says, wow, I'm in Knoxville. Well, Michelle, drive on over and join us. At the event, I played a little video of Dolly inviting us to Sevierville, Tennessee. I was trying to click it, but I don't think it's going to work on my slides. But it was Dolly, and she came up and This was how we made the announcement from the stage. We didn't tell them where we were going to go yet. I was like, I've got somebody who's going to tell you where we're going. And Dolly came on and she said, hey, y'all, I want to invite you to my little town of Sevierville, Tennessee. And she kind of told about the town and everything. So if you didn't know, Dolly is from Sevierville, Tennessee. That is where Dollywood, the theme park, is. So she loves this little town. She has poured her heart and soul into it and helping it grow and everything. And so I don't know. My husband has this dream that maybe we can get Dolly to come and join us at Southern Adornments Live next year. But I said, honey, I think you think I'm more influential than I actually am. I don't think I've got enough power and influence to get Dolly to show up, but wouldn't that be incredible? And so I'm just putting this out there to God and the universe to, if Dolly wants to come, we would love to have her. But that would be amazing. But it's not going to happen. But she will be there in spirit, I'm sure. So the resort we're going to be staying at, it's called the Wilderness at the Smokies, and we are doing this in November. So this outdoor water park is actually not going to be open as a water park, but it is going to be transformed into an outdoor ice skating rink because the Christmas lights will be up and they'll be having all kinds of winter and Christmas festivities. However, they do have an indoor water park as well. And so the indoor water park will be open. This will be a great opportunity for those of you who have families that would like to come, and they can come for the weekend. They can enjoy the resort, the indoor water park, and kind of, see the different things. There's so much to do around Sevierville and Pigeon Forge. There's like mini golf, there's go-karts, there's shopping, there's the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, there's Wonderworks, there's Dollywood. There is never going to be like a moment where you're bored. There's so much you can do. And even if you can't afford to go out and do all the things, you could literally stay on this resort for like all 3 days and enjoy the amenities of the resort and still not get bored. And so I think it's a great chance for those of you who want to bring your families for a little vacation to kind of get away. And you ladies can come and enjoy the crafting event part of it while your families enjoy the rest of the resort. Marie says Christmas in the Smokies is beautiful. Yes, all the Christmas lights are going to be up. It's going to be gorgeous. And then attached to the Wilderness at the Smokies Resort on top of the hill is the Sevierville Convention Center. Now, this is actually where our event is going to be. There is a breezeway indoors, so you wouldn't even literally have to walk outside the building. You can take the breezeway and walk over to the convention center and join us there for the event. And so we're going to be staying on top of the hill at the Stonehill Lodge building on the Wilderness at Smokies property, and it's attached to the convention center. So it's super convenient. My husband and I went and stayed there last month in August for another convention that was happening in the same building. So we have seen the layout. We have scoped it out. It is going to be perfect for this next year's event. Marie says the Alamo is a great steakhouse. Wink, wink. Thank you for that recommendation. I need all the recommendations. Melissa says the Titanic Museum. I haven't actually been to the Titanic Museum, but I think that would be super cool. Sheila says, I'm so excited. I'm coming. Awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So let's talk about pricing, payment plans, all the things. So this is where we get into the deals. So right now we have a special deal going on until this coming Sunday, October 15th. So you've got not quite a week. You got like 7 days to take advantage of this, or until tickets sell out. So full price ticket retails for $697. But if you purchase within these next few days by October 15th, you can save $150 by paying in full, or you can save $75 by doing the payment plan option. And so if you want to do, whoops, I forgot to take hold on. I need to take that slide out. I forgot to take the QR codes off of here. But if you want to save $150, use the pay in full link that I put in the comments. If you want to do the payment plan, this is how the payment plan is going to work. So your first payment is going to be roughly $124, $125. And then your next payment won't come out for 2 months. So we have the payment plan broke out into, I believe, 5 installments every 2 months. So it's not every month, it's every 2 months. So the next one won't be due until December, and then February, and then April, and then June. And then I believe it will be paid off. Is that 5? I don't know. However, five every 2 months. And so it kind of spreads it out over almost the next year for you guys. That way it'll make it easier for you guys to pay it over time. The Sky Bridge. Yes, Brenda. I went on the Sky Bridge. 2, 3 years ago with my husband, and it was actually snowing, and it was like a Hallmark Christmas movie moment for me. We rode up the ski lift up the mountain to the sky bridge, and then it was just snowing. I mean, I was frozen like a popsicle, but it was amazing. I've got photos and video of it. There's a video on my TikTok if you scroll way down of the experience of it. And I mean, we're walking across this lit snow bridge at night, and the snow is not snow bridge, sky bridge, and the snow is coming down, and there's Christmas lights, and it was the most magical moment. It was like the most romantic Hallmark Christmas movie type moment. But yes, the sky bridge is really cool, even better when it's snowing. Okay, so what questions do you guys have about next year's event? I'm going to hang on for a few more minutes and answer questions. But this is the end of the presentation. So if you want to go and purchase your ticket right now, you're not going to miss anything. I do want to say a big thank you to all of the people who came to this last event. It made it so special for all of us. I want to say thank you to all of our guest presenters that came and taught. I appreciate so much you guys showing up and sharing your skills with everybody and making it a special event. Katie says, how much will each installment be? Let me do some math real quick because I don't want to tell you wrong. I don't know exactly. So it makes full price. By the time you pay for all the installments, it makes it $622. So if I take $622 and I divide it by 5, that makes each payment $124.40. So that's how much each payment would be every 2 months. Do you have a link for a room reservation? Not yet, Donna. We are still nailing out the details to that. I'm trying to get you guys some coupons and amenities and things like that. I'm negotiating. As soon as we're done negotiating, I'll get the link for you guys, and we will email that out to everybody. We also don't have a Facebook group set up yet for this event. We're going to wait till a little bit closer, and when we've got our room booking link and all that, we'll start setting up the group and inviting you guys to it. Stephanie got her ticket. Wonderful, Stephanie. I can't wait to see you. Delane says, what all is included in the event price? So your hotel's not included and meals are not included. We will be allowing you guys about an hour and a half or so for lunch. And so there are places on the hotel property where you can eat lunch. We'll also have sort of a little guide for you guys printed out that will give you an idea of what's close by, because there are lots of things close by. There's like a Chick-fil-A, a Cracker Barrel just down the road. There's, what's it called? There was some kind of old mill restaurant that was really good, and it was really close too. There are tons of places you can go. And I think this will kind of give you guys a break from the conference room, because I've been to events before where you're just like sick of sitting in the same chair all day long and you need to get outdoors a little bit. And so I think this will give you guys a great chance to like go off site and eat and whatnot. So hotel and meals are not included, but everything else is. It will cover all of your crafts, all your paints, all of your swag, and all of that. And so we provide everything. You're not going to have to bring anything to the event. However, I could tell everybody that, but there are still lots of crafters who showed up with their toolkits because they some of them brought heat guns, some of them brought paint pens and paint brushes and all the things. And so that's totally fine too. Tiffany says, is there a discount code for the place we will be staying at? Yes. So, well, not yet. We're going to get you guys a room booking link, and it will be discounted. So I believe the first night is $99. The second night is so the first night, that's Thursday night. It graduates in price because in tourist towns, if you stay over the weekend, it's more expensive, but weeknights are cheaper. So Thursday night was $99, Friday night was $159, and Saturday night, I think, was $169. Plus, there's like a $30 a day resort fee. And the resort fee covers your parking, your Wi-Fi, your use of their towels, the water park and all of that is included with that $30 amenity or $30 resort fee. The dates, Missy, are November 15th and 16th of 2024. That's 2 full weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's before the holidays get into the swing of everything, but it's just as the Christmas light season starts to pick up. So I think we need to play some Christmas music at next year's event. So I need to start making a playlist right now of Christmas music that we can play at Southern Endurance Live. Patty says, what time of day does it start and end? So it usually begins, registration and vendor shopping usually starts around 8 to 9. And then at 9 a.m., we usually kick everything off, and we try to have it wrapped up by 5 p.m. every day. So 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, like Dolly says. Lauren says all the crafts you need and project kits, you could literally show up with no craft supplies and leave with finished projects. But the best part of the event fee is the experience. It's making the friendships, meeting people, having fun. There's no place like it. After hours, you could really see the relationships blossom. Yes. So yeah, your ticket covers your access to the event. I don't think people realize how much money it costs to put on an event like this. And so we have to build all of that into the ticket price, because renting out space like this costs a lot of money, and we have to rent the tables and the chairs and every little thing, the audio visual, all of that costs a lot of money. And so, we can't, I wish we could do events like this a whole lot cheaper, but we just can't do them at the scale we're doing them at, and doing them any cheaper than we're doing them. But I appreciate all of you guys who are showing up year after year, and the value that you're getting out of an event like this. It's not just the crafts. It's not just the techniques that you're learning. It's the friendships. It's the encouragement. It's filling your cup. Every single time you come, you feel filled up again with encouragement and value, and it's priceless. Pam says, I just joined. What's happening? What are the dates? You can go back and watch from the beginning, Pam, but short answer is November 15th and 16th, 2024 in the Great Smoky Mountains. That will be next year's Southern Adornments live event. So what you missed was an entire recap of the one that we just did in Destin. So if you've never been to an event like this before, it'll give you a great idea of what it's like. It's hard to replicate in a slide the actual feeling of the atmosphere of the room, like we were talking about. It's very special. It's special to me. And every time I do one of these, I'm like, what am I getting myself into again? The planning part of it stresses me out. The money, the financial part of it, the expenses of it stress me out. But then when I'm actually there with you guys, I'm like, I can't wait to do it again. You know what I mean? Like it fills me up, and it reminds me why I love what I do so much. It helps me out on the hard days. Missy said, if I have bring a friend, do they have to buy a ticket in order to get what? I'm struggling to read the question. Do they have to buy a ticket in order to get in with the group? So yes, if you want to bring a friend, they do need to buy a ticket, but you can buy the ticket for your friend. Does that answer the question? So if you're buying a ticket for a friend, make sure that you are letting our customer service know what their name is, so they can put the correct name on the second ticket, and make sure that the shirt size, because when you buy a ticket, you have to select a shirt size. Make sure your friend gets their shirt size correct as well. So you may have to let our customer service know if their shirt size and name is different than yours. Let's see. Brenda says, thank you for putting on these lives. You and your family and team are awesome. This trip was what I needed after 8 months of my husband's sickness. It was refreshing for him as well. Thank you so much for that, Brenda. I think a lot of people feel that way. We're all dealing with stuff that is so hard right now. Financial struggles, illnesses, just, I don't know, some of you guys are dealing with grief because you've lost a loved one, or you've got somebody who's experiencing a terminal illness, and you needed an escape. And that's what these events provide, is an escape from the daily grind and the daily struggle that we all face. And it reminds us that, like, we can still have joy and hope and fun and get together with people. And it's just so uplifting. And I know a lot of these ladies made connections that are going to last a lifetime. And they go home and they've got friends that they can stay in contact with all year long and plan to meet up with again next year. Marie said, I hardly finish my projects at these kinds of events. It's the only time my introvert self turns into the people person and I talk too much. Isn't that funny how that happens, Marie? But I think it's because you are finally in a group of people who love and know you and accept you exactly as you are. And it helps you feel comfortable and you can open up. I love that. Tiffany says, I can't find the ticket link. Okay, I'm going to drop it again in the comments for you, Tiffany. It's also pinned at the top of the comments. So this next event is going to be at the Sevierville Convention Center. No, it's not going to let me go back slides. It's going to be at the Wilderness at the Smokies, and the Sevierville Convention Center is attached to that. So we're in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Regina bought her ticket. She said over the weekend, I'm excited. I'm the one that my dad used to watch me, and this is my first big thing since he passed. I'm so glad you're doing this for yourself, Regina. Oh, your dad used to watch you paint. Okay, I get it. I think I remember you telling me that. Janet says, strange question. I'm losing weight. Can I change my shirt size? Yeah, we're not going to order the shirts until probably August of next year. So I fluctuate sizes all the time. I'm in Sarah's t-shirt club, with the monogram t-shirt box and all that. And I have had to text or email her more than once and be like, girl, I need to switch to an extra large. Girl, I lost some weight. Switch me back to large. So I fluctuate too. You're not alone. So just email us if that changes. Okay. What other questions? Where in the Smoky Mountains? Sevierville, Tennessee. So it's right off of interstate. Is it I-40? What interstate is that runs through there? I think it's I-40. So it's right off of the interstate. It's also closest to the largest Buc-ee's gas station in the entire United States. So you'll get to see that. Lauren said, during year 1, I stayed in my seat. Year 2, I bounced around and talked to everyone. I love that it has gotten you out of your shell. That's awesome. I-40. I thought so, Regina. Thank you. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you. Go grab your deal while you can. Like I said, if you buy by October 15th, you save $150 on your pay in full ticket and $75 off your payment plan ticket. And so go grab it now. If you have caught the end of this, please watch from the beginning because you missed a lot of awesome stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.